Bully Banter is a podcast, a fun opportunity for us to start a conversation as well as inform you about opportunities that are going to be happening in our parish community.
One of the things we'd like to highlight is your testimony about things that God has done in your life as well. So if you're interested in joining us for an interview, please reach out.
Thank you.
Today we have with us parishioner Kate Shay, who, how long have you been at the parish?
Gosh, let's see, 24 years?
24 years. Wow.
Not that long.
No, not that long.
We're having Kate as a guest because she was kind enough to speak at the Parish Revival to give her testimony about what mission looks like in her life. We asked her to come talk and kind of give us a recap of that and delve into what evangelization looks like in your day-to-day life, and that it's not doesn't have to be scary.
Right, exactly.
So I guess the first question is, you were very nervous about when I asked you to speak at the revival. So how did it go once you actually spoke?
I think, the idea of it is out of my comfort zone. Had always been kind of a behind the scenes server. So speaking publicly is not on my top 10, but, I thought about it and, as I said, kind of remembered Mary's yes and how we're called to do things that are not always comfortable. I felt well prepared. I had ideas about what I wanted to talk about, and it was fluid and changing. But the day of the revival, when I was going to speak, my calendar was really full. I had several appointments, and I was actually scheduled to be at the museum in Indianapolis that day. So it was going to be one of those days that was like, boom, 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 show up to the revival. But I feel like God had a different plan. So he was like, slow your roll. And, I kind of felt that too leading up to it. Just life had been kind of hectic, and I felt like I was running from thing to thing and kind of dropping the ball on some things, and kept kind of hearing, you need to slow down. So I just kind of opened myself up to the day as it flowed. And it just happened. I went to mass in the morning and then had run into someone who kind of needed to talk and was in the midst of just a lot of things happening in her life, and felt, really, it was one thing after another and overwhelmed. So we just spent some time talking. I was mostly listening, and the day just started to unfold like that. I took some time then to just get outside without any noise, and just kind of be present. So, really, coming into the revival that night, I really had a sense of calm. I wasn't real nervous. I just wanted to make sure I was heard, with the microphone and everything, and that I spoke slowly and didn't try and rush through. And then, in his true nature, while I was sitting in the pews before the revival, Father Dave came and found me. And, he's very good at being intuitive to situations like that and always offering a few words of encouragement.
I like the divine irony in you getting kind of involved in a situation where you're listening to someone after church. Because when you and I spoke on the phone, when I called you to kind of like get a little bit of your background so I could introduce you, you said to me, living simply is kind of like where you go a lot. So for example, after mass, being available for people and just saying hello. And you said you'd really never know when somebody wants to talk.
Right.
And this was weeks before the revival that you said this. So how uncanny that day before you're getting ready to speak at the revival, you had that exact experience.
Right. It was. This is what I love about daily mass. Some great things happen at daily mass. And, I have always loved daily mass. I grew up watching my grandparents go to daily mass, and that planted seeds in me. So when I started going, I used to take my son Michael when he was little toddler, and now he's 24. Been going a long time. And just to see how it's grown from like, there used to be like 6 to 10 of us in there
Wow.
in the little chapel to, gosh, now we're 50 or
Oh, at
more.
least, yeah.
So, but you can really connect with people at daily mass because so many things can be seen, whether new people coming in or people there for the first time. And that's just what I love about it. And that's been really a good avenue for me to practice this idea of evangelization. And as I spoke about, I had like a Hollywood version of what it meant to be to evangelize, like
Yep.
out on the street
Yeah.
corners, when really, going through the 99 and whatnot, it was just really about simply connecting with
Yeah.
people, and welcoming them.
So you shared a story with me when we talked on the phone, very much along the lines of an experience that you had at daily mass. Can you share that? It was how you just said a random hello.
Yes. It was a gal sitting next to me at daily mass. It might have actually been a holy day. Um, and I didn't recognize her. Not that I know everyone by no means, but I just kind of got the sense that maybe she wasn't from the parish. So just, after mass, I just said hello to her and nice to meet her. And I said, it was good to see you. And she kind of looked at me like, I know you. And then she, grabbed my hand and held it. And she goes, I said, oh, it's good to see you here. And she said, oh, thank you. And we chatted for a little bit. But that was just a real simple little moment we had. And, Lent, Lenten season always brings new people to daily mass because, um, some that's something many people do if they can do for the Lenten season. So I have been noticing an older gal. I think she might be a widow. And I would see her at the 4:30 mass, and she would always be on the right side back corner against the wall in the corner, kind of tucked away by herself. And when I would see her, I'd say hello or wave at the piece. But I noticed she started coming for Lent to daily mass. So I intentionally sat by her so I could talk to her after and just introduce myself. And she told me her name. And um, subsequently, a few times, we've been able to call each other by name at Mass when we see each other. Um, but I noticed at the 4:30 now, she's moved from the back wall corner down into the pews.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's just like little things like that
Well,
that
well, and I think you mentioned evangelization. And so I know, well, one, you used to be super involved and then kind of took a break. And Kimberly got you to do this discipleship class I offered, which kind of,
Mhm.
I don't know how it impacted you, but it seems like from there, it really opened up. You're so good now at telling stories like that of evangelization, not just in the pews, but out just in the community, but just how much people in the pews still need it. And it's not even evangelizing like teaching about Jesus. It's just
Right,
noticing people and remembering their names
Mm.
and acknowledging people. And
right.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I think the 99 retreat kind of reframed my thinking around evangelizing because, yeah, there was, we go through seasons of our life. So when my
Mhm.
kids were in the midst of RE and whatnot, I was involved in different things and some adult ministries. Then there was a period of time where I didn't really know what to
Mm.
do, and became more of like a pew sitter.
Is that when
Um,
your children were in high school or kind of
yeah,
graduating?
yeah, kind of high school,
You were like in
college.
a
Yeah,
period of finding
right.
yourself?
Yeah, because I wouldn't say I necessarily identified with teaching RE still and things like that.
Sometimes I think you're just like, I got my kids this far.
Right.
You're exhausted. You just kind of need like to reset. Because
Hmm.
before you're kind of driven by doing what your
Right.
kids are doing, but then your kids are kind of outgrowing those things. And then it's like, what's your identity now in
Right.
ministry?
I can see
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I did the 99 retreat, and I just felt like that was helpful in how to approach and engage people, um, and meeting them where they're at, not like you said, explaining catechism to them or
Yeah.
anything, but just I think how you build community is people feel welcome. We identify each other. We're not just strangers in the pew, or, hey, I see you every day at daily mass and I don't know your
Hmm.
name. I just think there's really a lot of power in calling someone by name. They feel seen.
And you shared that in your testimony, your story
Mhm.
at the revival pertaining to being at the gym.
Yes. So again, back to daily mass. See, great things happen at daily mass.
And it only takes 20 minutes.
I noticed a familiar face, and it was a trainer at the gym. And she was popping into daily mass on certain days, but I never could catch her afterward. So one day at the gym, we just happened to both be in the locker room at the same time. And I was like, oh, hey, I've seen you at daily mass. So we chatted a little about that. But the most important part of that encounter was I learned what her name was. So I still see her at the gym and I can call her by name. And I just see a different recognition. I mean, we would see each other before
Hmm.
at the gym and kind of pass each other by. But when you know somebody's name,
Yeah,
is a different interaction there.
it is.
Even though we're
First of
not
all,
having a conversation, even
Yeah.
just saying hello.
and those are small things that you're talking about. It was Dan Neild who actually talked about being like very purposeful about little
Hmm.
things.
Yes.
Whether it was, praying over his lunch or saying God bless you
Hmm.
instead of bless you. Those are little moments of
Yeah.
evangelization.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but part of it too is taking your pedal off the metal and being present to those opportunities. I mean, because there was many a times I'd be like, all right, got to get into daily mass, then I got to run right out
Hmm.
after, get here or there.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to slow
Yeah.
down and let God be present in your life. And it sort of follows the theme of the mission is you have to have those encounters with
Yeah.
God, make the time for that. That then forms your identity, then
Yeah.
that can put you on mission.
Yeah. Well, and then just like you said, the listening, because a lot of people say, "Well, I'm not good with names," and it's like sometimes you just have to really listen, and it's okay to ask them a few times what their name is,
Right.
but also just taking time to listen to people's story. Like we're such bad listeners because we're always in a hurry, and that's just such a huge part of evangelization. I mean, I had an air conditioner salesman come over once, and he started telling me his story. I was there for like an hour because I just listened to him. And at one point, I'm like, okay, you're here for an hour. It's time to go. But that just something that simple can make such a huge difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
Right.
People walk away normally after they've talked that way.
Yeah.
They normally walk away feeling better,
Yeah.
right? Their
Yeah.
step is a little lighter.
Yeah.
They're going to probably be a little kinder to the next
Yeah.
person. Like this is the evangelization is like a passing on.
Yeah. But I think the other key thing you mentioned is about community, because I think as Catholics, we're really bad about community. And it's so important. I have a friend who she's right now postpartum and has a baby at home, so it's hard for her to get out, but she struggles sometimes with depression. And she tells me about these podcasts she listens to. And, they're kind of stir her up or get her upset. And I'm like, well, that's your community. That's
Aw.
your community. You
Right.
need to hear positive
Yeah.
voices from other people who can listen to you and support you. And so, like, what are you consuming? Because that
Mhm.
impacts you. And we need to be around people who build us up. And we can find that at church.
So when you say that as Catholics we're not great at community,
Yeah.
so what do you mean by that, and how can we be better at it?
Well, I mean, my family was terrible when I grew up. We never did anything at the
No,
church.
it was the take the donut, leave.
Yeah. Or it was like, it was just you go to mass, you check the box, you leave, and we never went to confession. So that wasn't even an option. And I think that's just been so much a part of our upbringing as Catholics. We're like Protestants, community is such a huge part. But I mean, if you read Acts 2:42, it talks about they broke bread, they were in community. I mean, that was something about the early disciples that was so critical. And we are the body of Christ. We're all part of the same body. We're supposed to be in community, all of our dysfunction together, but we're there to help each other grow in faith. And I said this at the revival. The church is not a building, it's all of us, and we all work on each other. The Holy
Right.
Spirit works through each of us to help us grow into saints. And I don't know how it was for you growing up, but for some reason, I feel like as Catholics, we've just been so programmed that mass is all mass.
Sure.
I did my Catholic duty for the week, and it's like
Sure.
you're missing out on so much
Mm.
that I didn't realize till I was in my mid late 30s.
Mhm. Right.
I mean,
I haven't been a part of a church community in my life until living in Zionsville and coming here. And it was a choice that I made when Cecilia was born.
yeah,
But there are opportunities here, and
Yeah.
I like that. Like, I
Yeah.
gravitate toward it. I'm being kind of like called to it.
yeah,
And I don't know what I will be like when Cecilia grows up and she's gone, because I've taught RE and been a part of CLO and been a part of women's
Mhm.
ministries and things like that. So it's fitting for me.
Mhm.
But um how do we show our community, our parishioners, that this is good, that this is enjoyable, that how do we change?
The dynamic.
Yeah, how do we get people to want to be a part of a community like this?
I mean, did your family go to communal things at church growing up?
Not really. I don't really remember that. You know, we went to church. We volunteered like at the liturgy, whether Eucharistic minister or procession leader. We couldn't be altar boys.
And
We could
is
be the
this
procession leader.
Connecticut?
Yes.
Is that you grew up? Okay.
Yes. But my cousins and I always laugh now. We always thought we were so holy because, we went to church
Yeah.
and our grandparents went to church every day. But I don't remember having a Bible in the house. We knew nothing about the rosary. Um, so yeah, we were going to church faithfully. Were
Yeah.
catechized and everything. Um, but yeah, I don't remember doing a lot of church community things.
So what got you involved the first time? Was it with your kids or
Yeah, it was. So after we moved here and the kids were age appropriate to be in RE and whatnot, that a big kind of game changer for me was Christ Renews His
Yeah.
Parish. That really is the epitome of community. So it kind of grew from there. And, just honestly, I feel like I'm a broken record, but going to daily mass and meeting um, a lot of different people, I think I gained a lot of mentors because there's an older population that goes to daily mass. And so I became connected with a lot of the older church community and sort of their ministries, parish friends, and whatnot. Um, so I think, it just kind of grew over time and sort of the ideas of, you know, really what church beyond the mass
Mhm.
is about.
And I think personal invitation is huge
Right. Yeah, it is.
because obviously they invited you to do things.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so daily mass Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday,
And Saturday.
and Saturday,
Yep.
9 a.m., Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Yes.
You are a docent
Yes.
at the art museum volunteer base, and then you got a part-time job here at the parish.
Yes.
Oh, which is a docent.
A, a docent is a gallery educator.
Oh,
That sounds very official.
it's so sophisticated.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, one of the parishioners here sort of introduced it to me, Carol Kaufman. She was a docent for many years at the IMA. And so in 2017, I did the training, which was a year-long training.
Wow.
Um,
Hi.
It's volunteer.
yeah, to be a
And they have tons.
They
Yes.
take that serious.
Yes. Yeah, I was fingerprinted and
Okay. Okay.
but it's a rewarding volunteer job, lots of opportunity for engagement. I work also, with a aged community. I think I have an affiliation for older people.
Yeah.
But it's, a good group. It's, very well structured volunteer organization, and they do a lot for the museum. The museum would not survive without all its volunteers.
It's nice to know.
Yeah,
You will always have a volunteer position there.
I'm pretty sure.
And you are the marriage prep coordinator here.
Yes,
I'm sure that's keeping you on your toes.
it is. I was a little surprised how much paperwork's involved.
Paperwork. Bummer.
Yes.
There's a lot of expectations on our couples today. Not when I got
Mhm.
married. It was
I
a
know it's
weekend.
very different. Yes, it
Weekend.
is
It was
very different.
Did you do the weekend?
Yep.
We did engaged encounter.
Right.
Yep.
Yes, so did we.
Yep.
Same thing.
That was it.
Yes.
So are we in our parish right now? Are we needing happily married couples flourishing in their relationship to be what is it?
Mentors.
Mentors.
Yeah.
Are we needing
Yes. We always have a need
some
for mentor
people?
couples, and it seems intimidating.
It's
Yeah.
lovely.
But
My husband and I did it
yes.
once, and if he would want to do it again, and it's not that he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I think he just was in a grumpy place in his life.
I actually had a couple request you recently.
I am honored.
No, they're
I
new
liked
to the
it.
parish.
I liked
They're
it.
new to the
How did
parish
they know Amy?
from the revival.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
It was a glittery jacket.
Yes.
And the shoes.
We'll have to talk because I wouldn't want to turn that down. That's pretty awesome. But
Well-
it is a very cool experience. You read a book. The book basically just tells you how to start the conversation. You are on this journey with these just excited, freshly ready to go people,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And it's a very vulnerable, very cool
Yeah.
time.
Yes, and
in their life.
if this is your one thing, it
Mhm.
literally is. You meet 4 times, so
Mhm.
we're talking 4
And
hours.
you can meet in your own home.
Mhm.
Yes.
So we meet.
You can be the one that decides it's Monday at 6:00, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Right.
The engaged couples are normally very excited and eager to kind of like meet you where you like meet at your time.
Well, and there's videos that they've watched. It's not like
Right.
you're teaching them.
No.
It's just more of a discussion.
discussion.
Yeah.
And
And
maybe
it's all
giving them some personal
topics.
stories.
Yeah. It's all topic guided.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a max of how much time would a married couple give to this engaged couple? Like
4 hours.
maybe
Right.
4 hours.
Right. And honestly, what I would love is to have enough couples that you only have to do it once a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
close to that.
And once you get your bearings on the book and what the discussion is,
Yeah.
once you get your bearings on that, there's not much more prep, right?
No.
It's really just your personal stories
Right.
and listening to their stories.
Yeah.
I liked
Exactly.
it. I liked it. I thought it was adorable. And it also brought back memories for me when I was engaged to Timmy and how excited and I thought we'll never have these problems. I
Well-
remember sitting there.
And I think it's funny is I'm always shocked at what comes out of my husband's mouth. When
Oh,
they ask
it's
questions,
like a
I'm
therapy session. I didn't know you felt that way.
or like, yeah, the funniest story was we were talking about like picking up after, and I was like, it's okay. My husband leaves stuff on the floor all the time. And and he's like, well, your stuff's all over the floor now. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will admit there was definitely some passion in ours. Yeah.
Well, but then he said some really like beautiful, thoughtful, like
Mm.
things. I'm like, I didn't know you thought that. That's amazing. So I
Yeah.
thought I should have been recording it or something. But so yeah, it was kind of.
And you said it's Christ-filled work for you, walking along with these.
It is. It's,
couples.
rewarding to see. And we have some young couples, I'm talking like 23 years old, want to have a sacramental marriage. And, that's a great thing.
It's amazing.
And
Yeah.
Kate also helps those who, if you're baptized Catholic, you were not married in the church, she will help you get your marriage, what we call convalidated, so that
Yes.
your marriage is blessed by the church.
Yes. And I am fortunate to have, as a teammate on the staff, Andrea, who handles the baptisms. And she will offer in a very, pastoral way. By no means is this a
Yeah.
roadblock to your child getting baptism, but hey, did you know that you can have
Yeah.
your marriage convalidated?
Well, I do RCIA or OCIA, and a lot of times people don't get their marriage in the church because they don't want to upset their family, or they just didn't know that that was required. So I just think a lot of times it's just about pastorally
Yeah. And
pointing out to people
right.
that this is available to them.
Right. You're right, because it's lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't want to do it, it's they don't know it's
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you know of anyone or you yourself need it, call Kate because she will help you.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm glad that we could chat with you since we
Yes.
didn't get to record your talk, but I feel
Kate
like
Shay, ladies and gentlemen.
we got a good highlight of what being on mission looks like in your life, and that
Yep.
it's not complicated, and it's really just being a good listener and
Yeah.
making space for the Holy Spirit and those encounters you have every day.
Yes. Simple and sincere.
Thank you, Miss Kate.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you.
If you would like to hear more holy banter, please check out our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast.